Where do our most brilliant ideas come from? Our culture feeds us a myth of the muse, a divine figure of light who bestows inspiration upon the worthy artist. But what if I told you that true, groundbreaking creativity rarely comes from the light? What if it crawls out from the darkness? What if the greatest art, the most profound music, the most unforgettable stories are not gifts from a muse, but treasures retrieved from the depths of our own inner chaos? Today, we challenge the sanitized myth of creativity. We will journey into the territory that most of us are taught to fear, the territory of the shadow, and uncover why this repository of our repressed selves is also the most fertile ground for creative genius. First, let's understand why our conscious mind, our persona, is often creatively sterile. The conscious ego is a creature of order, logic, and social acceptability. This is where the shadow comes in. The shadow, as we've discussed, is the basement of our psyche. It's where we've thrown all the parts of ourselves we deemed unacceptable, the parts that didn't fit into the neat box of our persona. And it is precisely this unacceptable nature that makes the shadow a treasure trove of creative energy. First, the shadow holds our raw, undiluted emotion. Our conscious mind filters our feelings. We learn to express appropriate levels of sadness or anger. But the shadow holds the pure, volcanic rage, the bottomless grief, the ecstatic joy, the terrifying fear. Think of the dark, melancholic paintings of Francisco Goya, or the tormented self-portraits of Vincent van Gogh. Second, the shadow is home to our primal instincts and archetypes. Our civilized persona has suppressed our wildness, our connection to the instinctual, animalistic parts of our nature. The shadow remembers this. It holds the trickster archetype, with its love of chaos and rule-breaking. It holds the wild woman, with her untamed intuition and connection to nature. Writers who create compelling, unpredictable characters are often masters of tapping into these shadow archetypes. The chaotic energy of a character like the Joker is a direct line to the trickster archetype that lives in our collective unconscious. Third, the shadow contains our forbidden thoughts and unconventional perspectives. It's the part of you that asks the questions no one else dares to. It's the part that sees the absurdity in social rituals, the hypocrisy in moral codes. Surrealist artists like Salvador Dali were masters of this. They painted the illogical, dreamlike landscapes of the unconscious, creating art that was both bizarre and profoundly true. So, how do we, as modern individuals, safely access this creative wellspring without being consumed by it? This is the art of the creative journey, a form of active shadow work. The first step is to create a safe container. This is crucial. You cannot venture into the chaos without a secure base. This container is a dedicated, non-judgmental practice. Journaling is the most accessible form. You can start a creative shadow journal. Use prompts like, "What is a secret I've never told anyone? What is a fantasy I'm ashamed of? What is the angriest I've ever been?" The second step is to engage with symbolic language. The shadow does not speak in clear, logical sentences. It speaks in symbols, in images, in dreams. Pay close attention to your dreams. A recurring dream of a tidal wave might symbolize a fear of being overwhelmed by emotion. Instead of fearing the dream, you can use it as a creative prompt. What does the wave look like? What color is the water? Paint it. Write a story about it. By engaging with the symbol, you are metabolizing the shadow's energy and transforming it into art. The third step is to find your creative lineage. Find the artists, writers, and musicians whose work resonates with your own shadow, who speaks to your melancholy, who expresses your inner rage. Read their biographies, study their work. Understand that you are part of a long tradition of individuals who have dared to explore the darkness. This creates a sense of permission and belonging. It reminds you that you are not alone in your chaos. The final and most important step is integration. The goal is not to live permanently in the shadow. That leads to a destructive and unbalanced life. The goal is to be a bridge between your conscious world and your unconscious world. You must be the hero who ventures into the underworld, retrieves the treasure, and brings it back to enrich the kingdom. This means that after a session of deep, chaotic, creative exploration, you must return to your conscious mind. You must use your logic, your skill, your craft, your personate, to shape the raw material you've uncovered. You take the raw marble of shadow emotion and sculpt it into a masterpiece. True genius lies in this integration, the marriage of unconscious depths and conscious skill. Your creativity is not a gentle muse waiting to be courted. It is a wild, powerful force waiting to be met. It is hidden in the parts of you that you have been taught to fear and to hide. The journey to becoming a more creative person is the same as the journey to becoming a more whole person. It is the journey of turning around, facing your own darkness, and realizing that it holds not just your fears, but your greatest treasures. If this exploration has sparked something within you, subscribe to our channel for more journeys into the psyche. In the comments, tell us about an artist or a piece of art that you feel truly captures the energy of the shadow. Thank you for watching.